All right, here's that wholesome Iowa homecoming content I know y'all like so much. Here it is for you. Caitlin Clark, the rest of her Iowa team back on campus, celebrating their accomplishments at the football game. You see Caitlin here with a young girl, giving her something here. It looks like, uh, yeah, is that a friendship bracelet? No, it's the ring. She gave her a ring. There you go. Look at that. That's a pretty cool moment. Those are those rings that we saw them sporting. Caitlin seems to always want to take the time to, especially, and she said this before, to have moments with young kids because it's the kind of thing that can leave a lasting impression that they're not going to forget about. Those rings that you saw were also being modeled by Caitlin Clark, Kate Martin. There you go. I think it's the Big Ten championship ring and the Final Four ring. Martin with her shocked face, Caitlin with her, I don't know, face, happy face, I guess you would call that. She is kind of a goof. Seems to be a personality trait of hers, an endearing one. Don't get me wrong. Not saying anything negative. It's a very endearing personality trait. And you could see, as I showed you in the previous clips, she just seems to be happy to be back in her element. And there seems to be a real true bond and friendship between the members of that team, whether it's Caitlin and Kate or Gabby Marshall and Monica showed up as well at the doorsteps of, I believe it was Jan Jensen's house. You can see the photo right here. She's coming in the door. It looks like they're greeting her happily. I didn't know who took all these pictures, but it was Jan Jensen's daughter's birthday. So when we're talking about dealing with the kids, obviously some of that is with fans and kids you don't know. But in this case, it was a young lady who was her birthday, and Caitlin Clark and company were there to celebrate it. As you can see, Caitlin right there with her, very happy. It looked like they were hanging out. I don't know if it was a slumber party or they were there for a few hours or whatnot, but it definitely looked like they had a great time. Best night ever, as you can see right under there. Is she braiding Kate Martin's hair? I don't know what's happening. Some girl things. I'm not, I have a daughter now, so I got a little bit more into the girl stuff. I only had a brother when I was growing up, so I do my best when it comes to that stuff. Because so many of these, you forget that so many of these women are also, they grow up little girls because they're such awesome hoopers and such awesome competitors. I don't even think of that, right? Like it's not even something that comes into my mind when I'm analyzing or looking at all this stuff or sharing my opinions on it. I'm not thinking of that aspect, but a nice moment there as they're there with Jan Jensen's daughter. They're back on campus. They're being celebrated. It's well earned. And it's nice to see all of them happy to see one another. I mean, they accomplished a lot together. That's just a shared human element and bond. And it's also nice to see Caitlin in her element and smiling and happy there because, as I said before, Caitlin has dealt with a lot in the last year or so. She's only handled herself in exemplary fashion, and she deserves to relax and be celebrated. And it seems that's what's happening with her, Kate Martin, and the rest of that Iowa Hawkeyes team. So salute.